If she's doing this one thing, you're not in love. You're in danger. And if you miss it, it could cost you everything. Because most men don't realize when a woman stops being a partner and starts becoming their silent destroyer. You won't see it in her words, you'll feel it in how you start doubting your own. One day you'll wake up and wonder why you're always the one apologizing, why you're always the one trying, why you're still holding on to someone who's slowly letting go of you. This video isn't just about heartbreak. It's about waking up. It's about the one truth no one told you as a man, that not every woman who says she loves you is safe to build with. Some women don't want your heart. They want your silence, your submission, your soul. And here's what you need to understand. What she's doing might look like love, but it's manipulation dressed as affection. Control disguised as connection, and the longer you ignore the signs, the deeper you fall into a trap built on emotional confusion. So before you give her one more chance, watch this. Before you justify her disrespect again, watch this. Because what I'm about to tell you in the next few minutes is the difference between staying broken in a toxic loop or finally walking out with your power intact. She's not who you think she is, and once you hear this, you'll never look at her the same way again. Stay with me until the end. Your healing begins right here. When a woman begins to weaponize your love, it doesn't start with something loud. It starts in the quiet moments when your vulnerability is met with sarcasm, when your honesty is received with cold detachment, when the very love you offer becomes the tool she uses to control you. She doesn't raise her voice, she lowers your spirit. And over time, you start shrinking, not because you're weak, but because you've been conditioned to believe that your strength makes her uncomfortable. You offer patience, and she stretches it until you doubt your sanity. You offer security, and she tests it with calculated chaos. You try to lead with integrity, and she paints it as control. This isn't love. This isn't partnership. This is psychological warfare wrapped in feminine charm, and the most dangerous part, it's socially accepted. You're told she's just emotional, or she'll grow out of it, while your emotional world is being dismantled brick by brick. Some women don't want love. They want submission. They don't want your truth, they want your silence. And they'll use affection as bait to keep you emotionally enslaved. She will not attack your body. She will colonize your mind. She will not leave physical scars. She will leave you spiritually empty. She will ask for loyalty and then test your sanity. And if you call it out, she'll flip it. Make you feel like you're the abuser, the narcissist, the unstable one. You need to understand something. Some women study your weaknesses the way hunters track prey. She memorizes your traumas, identifies the cracks in your confidence, and pretends to be your healer, only to turn around and exploit everything you confided in her. Not because she's evil, but because broken women, when left unchecked, will build empires on the bones of broken men. And you were never taught to protect yourself emotionally. You were told to man up, take it, stay calm. But silence in the face of manipulation is not strength, it's surrender. The truth is, if she takes your love and uses it as leverage to dominate you, shame you, or break your identity, she was never your partner. She was never even in love with you. She was in love with the idea of controlling you. And what most men never learn until it's too late is that emotional manipulation can do more damage than betrayal. Because betrayal ends something, but manipulation prolongs the pain and convinces you that you're the one causing it. That is the silent poison. That is how good men turn numb. And numbness is the beginning of emotional death. So here's the hard truth. If your woman studies your love just to weaponize it, leave. Not because you hate her, But because you finally love yourself enough not to be her victim, your love is not a weapon, it's a crown. And anyone who tries to use it against you never deserved it to begin with. If a woman only respects you when you're cold, distant, or emotionally withdrawn, that is not love. It is control. Masquerading as desire. It's easy to get caught in the illusion. When you're kind, she pulls away. When you're warm, she rolls her eyes. But the moment you stop texting, stop explaining, stop showing affection, suddenly, she's curious again. She starts reaching out. She becomes soft, attentive, almost sweet, and you start to believe that maybe this is just how she functions. But the truth is more sinister. She doesn't crave connection. She craves power over your emotions. This dynamic is rooted in a deep psychological dysfunction, one that thrives on emotional unpredictability. Women who operate this way are not looking for stability. They are addicted to emotional highs and lows. When you're stable, they get bored. When you're expressive, they feel in control. But the second you detach, you become a challenge. And not in the healthy way that inspires growth, in the toxic way that reignites her need to win. She's not in love with who you are. She's in love with how much she can affect you. And when a woman finds satisfaction only when you're emotionally unavailable, what she's really telling you is this: your pain makes me feel powerful. That's not romantic. That's dangerous. Many men fall into this trap because society has conditioned them to see female interest as a form of validation. So when she ignores you, they chase. When she disrespects you, they try harder. It becomes a twisted loop where your self-worth is now measured by her attention. But attention gained through withdrawal isn't love, it's manipulation, and you begin to associate emotional neglect with intimacy. You begin to believe that being cold is the only way to be respected. That's how your identity erodes. Slowly, quietly, you think you're being strong, setting boundaries. But what you're really doing is shrinking into a version of yourself that only exists to keep her engaged. You lose your joy, your softness, your depth, all the things that made you magnetic in the first place. And in trying to keep her, you lose you. This isn't about playing hard to get. This is about recognizing a woman who feeds off emotional confusion. If her love rises when your warmth dies, that's not a lover. It's a strategist, and love is not war. It's not meant to be a battlefield of dominance and withdrawal. It's meant to be safety, presence, truth. So let me make it clear. If a woman only desires you when you're emotionally absent, then she was never interested in your heart. She was chasing the high of conquering it, and once you give her consistency, she'll vanish, not because you changed, but because her game ended. Real women respect presence. They honor vulnerability. They lean in when you're open. They don't retreat. If your silence makes her love you, that is not love you want to keep. Every moment you spend proving yourself to the wrong woman is a moment stolen from the woman who was built to love you right. That's the part most men don't see until it's too late. You stay because you think she'll change. You convince yourself that if you just love her harder, wait longer, explain yourself better eventually, she'll see your value. But what if she already sees it and she simply doesn't care? What if the version of you she needs is the version that tolerates pain in silence? What if your suffering is what holds the relationship together? You see, some relationships are not built on love. They are built on guilt, on fear, on patterns you learned from childhood and never unlearned. You were probably taught to earn affection, to fix what isn't yours to fix, to hold on even when it's breaking you. So when a woman devalues you, you don't leave, you try harder. You make her moods your responsibility. Her silence becomes your puzzle to solve. Her disrespect becomes a project you think you can complete. But here's the harsh truth. If a woman loves you conditionally, that love will always come with a price. A price you'll pay in silence, self-doubt, and slow emotional death. You'll wake up one day and not even recognize the man you've become. Not because she took something from you, but because you gave it all away just to keep her close. That's the tragedy. And the danger, because good men in the wrong relationships start believing they're hard to love. They lose their joy, their confidence, their passion. And then they blame themselves for being drained. Accidental it's designed. It's what happens when you invest all your strength in someone who only grows stronger when you become weaker. The longer you stay, the more you delay your own healing. The more you try to fix her, the more broken you become. And in doing so, you rob yourself of the very thing you were created for: connection rooted in respect, safety, and depth. There are women out there who won't flinch at your vulnerability, who won't weaponize your softness, who won't disappear the moment you ask for emotional presence. But you'll never meet them if you're still entertaining the one who only shows love when you're bleeding. So you have a choice. You can keep holding on to someone who keeps teaching you how to live without peace. Or you can finally walk away and teach yourself how to live with dignity. Staying for potential is not loyalty. It's self-abandonment in disguise. And the longer you delay walking away, the longer you deny yourself the future you were meant to build. Letting go of the wrong woman is not failure. It's the beginning of freedom. And once you choose freedom, you'll never again mistake pain for love.